Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, mammals. Hope this video finds you well. This is going to be NTI day number 4 for Monday, March 16th. We're going to pick up with some papers that I left with you Friday. It's going to be the first activity in a new unit where we look at some trends on the periodic table. We're going to look at what happens to some things as we go down and as we go across on the periodic table. And the first one we're going to be looking at today is the atomic radius. And to do that, we're going to be graphing the atomic radius of the first 40 elements of the periodic table. So you've got a data set here. By the way, if you lost this page, I posted it up as a PDF on Google Classroom. You'll also find a Google Docs there where you can insert a screenshot of your completed graph and answer the 2 questions that I want you to answer today. There are a bunch of other questions on this, but they'll be for another day. We're only going to be looking at this question and this question today. And we'll come back to the others at a future date after we do some notes. But for right now, to keep this video short, I'm going to go on to how I would like you to set up your graph. So I've already set it up here. You're going to be putting the atomic number on the x-axis, and you're going to be doing the first 40 elements, and you've got enough graph space to make each square worth 1. So I counted by 1s out to 40. On the y-axis, you're going to be plotting the atomic radius. The largest radius that you have to plot is 248, so I counted by 10s to 250. So that's how I would like you guys to set up your graph. I'm going to plot the first 2 points with you to get you started here. I'm going to plot atomic number 1, hydrogen, with a radius of 37, and atomic number 2, helium, with a radius of 31. So let me scooch on down to the graph. Okay, so atomic number 1 and a radius of 37. I won't call that about right there. You're going to need to be able to find these later, so I'm going to write a little itty bitty h for hydrogen. And atomic number 2, that is 31, and an itty bitty he for helium. And you're going to carry this out for the first 40 elements. You should see sort of a shark tooth kind of pattern emerge. And after you plotted that, the instructions tell you to run a vertical line through the noble gases. Helium is a noble gas, so I'm going to do like a vertical line up through it. You'll also be plotting the next couple noble gases. Neon is number 10. Argon is 18. And krypton's way over here at 36. And the reason we do that is the noble gases are at the end of each row, and so it's just kind of a convenient way for us to look at what happens within the first, second, third, and fourth row, because these noble gases are going to be marking off what happens in the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth row. So that's why I asked you to go back and find those later. It'll make it easier to see what's happening as you go across within a row and down rows on the periodic table. So after you plotted that, let's go up and look at the questions that you need to answer. You need to answer what happens as you go right across a period, a row. So you could look at kind of what your graph does as you go across one of these rows, or you could just look at the data in the chart. I would pick probably either the second or the third row, because this first row is really short, can't see a pattern, and the fourth row has some inconsistencies here in the D block. So I would either look at what happens from 3 to 10 or what happens from 11 to 18. So you can go over to your data here and see, okay, atomic radius 3 to 10. What's happening as I go right? Is the radius getting bigger or smaller? Or I could look at atomic radius 11 through 18. And again, as I go right, what happens to these atomic radii. Are they getting bigger or smaller? The next question is what happens as you go down. So I would pick the first elements in each row so I can get a sense of what happens as I go down. So I would be looking at what happens when I go from atomic number 1 to atomic number 3 to atomic number 11, 19, and 37 to get a sense of what happens as I go down. And then you can put those two answers in the Google Docs along with a picture of your completed graph, and that will wrap you up for NTI day number 4. If you've got any questions or you need any help or any guidance, you can message me on Remind, you can email me, or you can post a comment on the Google Classroom's assignment, and I'll do my best to get back to you in a timely fashion. But for now, take care of yourself and others, practice good hygiene, and I'll see you on the flip side.